Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Protein Bros podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jeff Wasserman, and today we have an awesome episode for you. It is with Caleb Blankenship with Body Shop. It's a local gym here in Kansas City, but he also owns Blake Slate Fitness, which is his online coaching business that goes worldwide. Now, Caleb is a rare third-time guest on the podcast, and he's got two other episodes you should probably tune into, episode 8 and episode 67, and today is currently 165. Shout out Caleb, shout out the Body Shop, shout out Blake Slate Fitness. If you guys are fans of hearing about gym struggles, because he's had many that he has overcome, this is a great episode for you. We talk about the Olympia, we talk about members, we talk about the challenges of growing and starting a gym, and we also talk about just what they have going on now, which is some really exciting stuff if you're a personal trainer. So if you guys are into those things, you want to tune into this episode, let's get right into it. And as always, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for supporting local fitness. Let's get to it. So Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, baby.
Didn't it feel good when a quarterback sucks somewhere and then they come to a different team and it's like, oh, you guys actually just suck? It's not the quarterback.
Yeah,
hey,
I was mad.
But here's the
I didn't
thing.
want him.
Jackson Dart playing pretty good for the Giants. As
Yeah.
a rookie,
Giants are fun to watch now.
with
I hate
the
to say
same with the same coach.
Scattaboo?
Yeah, he's just way more mobile. I don't know. I didn't want Daniel Jones when we signed him. I really didn't.
Daniel Jones can run a ball.
I felt bad for you when they signed him. I was like,
Did you see my Instagram story?
Yes.
I didn't know Tatiana was recording me, and I was throwing a bitch fit. I was so
well,
mad.
you had more than just one slide. There was a lot.
I know. It was like a 5-minute rant. I was just going on because we were looking at what games we wanted to go to, because last year we went week 1 against the Texans when Anthony Richardson threw that bomb.
Yeah.
And it was like 70-yard pass. Was crazy to see. We went, week 11 or 12 in New York against the Jets.
I mean, they're giving up on a 4th overall pick that's like 21 years old that has like 8 career starts.
Yes.
It's like, what are we doing?
And that was my fault. And my thing is I wasn't mad that he was starting now. I was mad that we were giving up on that high of a pick. And it was like, we're just a middling team.
Right.
So here we go again, picking 15, 16, 17.
Right.
I thought we could make the playoffs with Daniel Jones, but it's like, I didn't think he'd be enough to get to where we wanted to go. So then we get rid of him after this year.
And then we're
in the same situation.
Yeah. Or you like go 7-9, which is like if we're being honest, more likely outcome.
Yes.
If you're thinking about it, it's
Yes.
like, how could it be better than the Giants did? Right. So it's like, if we make a wild card, hooray, it's a victory. But like, we're not going to win a playoff game with this guy.
No, and now it's like, dude, our offensive line is top 2.
Yeah,
Our defense is top 12.
Killing it.
We're
number 1 offense in the NFL.
Well, not only that, but it's the craziest stat is they've missed a collective 3 quarters because they've sat 3 fourth quarters because they've had so many leads. So they're the number 1 scoring offense, and it's like it could be way more.
Is it through 6 games that they played?
crazy.
Was there a bye yet or no for you guys?
No, we don't have a bye till the week before the Chiefs.
So week 6. So this was a cool stat. Kyle, you don't know this. Through 6 weeks, the Colts, this version of the Colts, has scored more points than any Colts in the history.
Including the
Colts
Peyton
versions.
Manning, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, Edgerrin James Colts. It's
right.
mind-blowing.
They've scored more points through 6 weeks than any Colts team in the history.
That's
of Colts.
crazy.
Not only did that,
Suck on that, Peyton.
we have
dude.
set I saw a weird stat,
With
but
Josh
it's like,
Downs and fucking Alec Pierce and
that's what's interesting is that we don't have a true superstar. Mm-hmm. It's like we just have 3 number 2s.
You got Pittman
and it's like,
too, don't you?
Yeah, we have Pittman, Pierce, Downs, Tyler Warren. It's like,
that's how the Chiefs kind of feel too.
yeah, it's like anyone can do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's really fun to watch. And we've punted I think 7 times this year. We were 10 for 10 on our last red zone trips. It's like the offense is basically unstoppable.
Can't wait for you to come back to earth. Can't wait for that luck to run out.
You know, I will say now that we're probably good, we probably will lose that game. Mm-hmm. But
when the Chiefs are really good, they always lose to the Colts. So
yeah, we could get flexed though. It's a noon game, and I could see it getting flexed to at least afternoon.
I'm hoping the Chiefs are able to run through some of these wins that Indy's had so far. The Denver Broncos, Titans, Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, you guys owe us a
this
favor
weekend.
because if we beat the Chargers this week, we've beaten your entire division, and we're the sole reason you guys are
I know.
I really
still
hope
regain
you
the
guys beat
division.
the Chargers, man. I really
Yeah,
do.
we have a lot of injuries in our. We're starting like 3 practice squad defensive backs because we have so many injuries. Because Charvarius Ward got knocked out last week, like before the game started.
Did you see that shit? Charvarius Ward and Anthony Richardson both got injured and couldn't play in the game over pregame warmups.
So Richardson, they were doing band work, and the band snapped and fractured his orbital bone.
The dude
under his eye.
broke his eye bone from a resistance band snapping, and now he's on IR.
Yeah, and then Charvarius Ward was just running like a corner drill, right? Flipped his hips, ran, and then one of our backup tight ends was just running out to catch a pass,
just like in a sweatshirt.
And here it is. And he gets knocked out cold.
That again.
Laid him out. Former Chief Charvarius Ward.
And he's been locked down for us.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he's not clearing concussion protocol this week. There's no way. And now Josh Downs is in concussion protocol. Like, who knows? But the Chargers have their own
I always wonder
problems.
what's the conversation with that tight end like, after that.
He's like our tight end 3.
Yeah,
exactly. Why do you even need to run out and catch a pass? We have Tyler Warren.
Exactly.
Get out of here.
Tyler Warren. What a pickup that guy was. We could talk football all day.
I could go for hours.
But Caleb, we love getting to know over the years, man. And it's been awesome to see your guys' growth at the Body Shop, your personal growth, your family's growth. Dude, it's so rewarding to have you as a friend, and we're excited to just catch up. It's been a few years.
Yeah, it's my growth, but your guys' growth too.
Podcast.
I mean, it's been 8 years? You guys had 2 stores. You guys were still working the full-time counter.
That's true.
Grinding, baby.
And now we're working at headquarters
World
with a
Gym.
podcast room.
Yeah, dude. You were at World Gym, freaking working alongside, I remember Jayhawk Fitness.
Yeah, Justin was there.
Christina, Crazy Horse or something like that.
Stephanie.
Justin was the reason we originally we got to meet you, man,
Yeah.
because he was like, he's a stud.
I said, who's the biggest dog in the room as far as just who works the hardest? And he said, dude, Caleb Blankenship.
Dude, it was fun, man. I love that gym.
Dude, who was that dude that you used to partner with? Was it Cam?
Cam, yeah, I don't know what happened to him. He just kind of
that guy just fell off the earth.
Fell off the face of the earth.
Well, man.
Yeah, I got a very rude message from his girlfriend, and to this day, I could not tell you what happened.
Could have been years ago, right?
It was 20.
Do you remember Cam?
2018.
Yeah,
dude was so strong.
It was bodybuilder.
It was 2018. Yeah,
he was a good-looking dude.
I don't know what happened.
But anyways, he came over and he met with us, with you at Shawnee's store. We're just getting literally just introducing ourselves. And man, it's just wild how someone could make one small decision path different, and you play that over time, that 1 degree off path.
Yeah,
it's just so far. I literally have no memories of the guy now. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. I remember I said some things about him that I was mad about, and his girlfriend was mad. And I said, "Listen, I didn't say this behind his back. I said it to his face. Like, if you're my friend, I'm gonna talk shit to your face, not behind your back." Mm-hmm. And it's just things happens for a reason, and then move forward. Genesis buys out World Gym. I get fired by Rodney himself, and I get told I'll be back in 6 months because I won't make it. And here we are, a couple facilities, and I built a 6-figure online coaching business, and it's cool, man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's all I got to give you just all the credit, man. You had no blueprint, no playbook, no one to tell you exactly what you need to do. You were like, I got to find a way to get clients. I mean, we told this story really well. Luke, do me a favor, find the episode number. Is it 67?
Yeah, I think it was the
episode
second
67?
time I was on.
Was it the first time or the second time? I thought we talked to him earlier than that on the first
This is my third time. I think I was the first or second person.
I know you were one of the first episodes.
Yeah.
But for one of those first episodes, it's one of my favorite episodes we've ever done. Just because I was around you so much during that time when you just simply did not know what you were going to do. And a lot of people do take this safe, comfortable route and just, give up.
Yeah. And,
dude, just so proud of the steps that you took and the belief that you had in yourself. And obviously Tati was a huge part of that. And
yeah, massive.
I think you did a great job of explaining, just the level of support she gave you and the belief that she had in you. And I think in our first conversation,
how do you, we're talking about the success and the growth that you've had. How do you stay motivated to kind of level up from where you're at now? Because a lot of people get
stagnant,
fat and happy.
Yeah. Well, I'm still fat. I wouldn't say I'm unhappy.
Oh, what were those croissants you just showed me?
Oh God, I ate so many croissants in Paris. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't do it without my wife, right? She's pretty much a driving force. The family's a driving force. And as a man, I feel like if I'm not growing, I'm dying. What's the point of staying stagnant? If I'm exactly where I'm at next year, I've kind of failed. like I always want more. And that's not to say I don't appreciate what I have now. It's like, you know, if my life didn't change for the next 20 years, I travel a decent amount. My family's healthy. You know, I have a couple gyms. I have my coaching business. It's like, what is there to be mad about? But at the end of the day, that's so boring. Like, I think one of the biggest things that people
got to continue to challenge yourself.
Yeah, well, challenge, but it's like, what are your dreams? Like, what do you want out of a life? And my dream isn't, you know, it doesn't stop at like, oh, I want to make money so I can do this. No, my dream is like, you can never tell me no because I can tell you to F off because I have more money than you. You know, my dream is like, I can't not go buy that car, or I can't not go on this trip, or, you know, my buddy and I, we joke all the time, but it's like our dreams, they end up with a private jet and business enterprises and generational wealth. It's like, I don't want to set just my family up. I want to set my kids up. And I think that's the thing that's cool. And that's what's fun with business is that business is kind of like bodybuilding. You're never perfect. You can always get better. And it's just up to you if you want to do it. And you have to learn the hard way. You know, by doing it ourselves, it costs a lot of money because when you mess up, it's expensive. And business is hard, but you know, building brands it's brutal. And I think that's where a lot of businesses kind of fail, is that they don't and I don't even know if I understand how to build a brand, but it's like, I think figuring out what you want your brand to be is like the number one thing, and then kind of running with it from there.
Dude, I still remember the first time you showed me you let me know the name for the gym, Body Shop, and you showed me the logo. It's cool to think back on that, you know?
Yeah, it seems crazy because like some of the names I had come up with were just horrendous. Like, I think I was going to be like Apex Gym, and it's like everything is named Apex, and you know,
there used to be an Apex up in Liberty.
Yeah, and now my coach I have now, like his company is Apex Training and Apex Gym. So I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't do that. I think it was like Muscle Factory, the Foundry, and I was like, well, that's way too close to the other gym here in town. Yeah, and it took a while, and everyone was just like, everyone who I talked to about it, they were almost annoyed that I wasn't naming it Blank Slate Fitness, and I built that brand to be on its own. I didn't want that brand to be everything. You know, I want a different brand.
What a successful decision that was.
Yeah. Well, ultimately it's like you build a business to build out the systems to where it doesn't rely upon you.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it becomes Blank Slate Fitness, well, it's always somewhat reliant upon you, you know?
Yeah. And you know, I didn't want to be the face of it for a long time. And now here lately, I've kind of leaned into it because it's mine. I love it. You know what I mean? And my wife's there too, but my wife she's not a public person. She likes to be kind of behind the scenes. So that's why, like, anytime we do podcasts, she's like, absolutely not. I'm not talking for people. Yeah, man, it's just, I love it. It's fun. I'm blessed. You know, I feel like God truly put me on this earth to help people through fitness, and I get to live my dream every day. And even when the days are hard, it's like, I'd rather do it for me than for someone else. You know, when I'm sacrificing time for my family, like I am, not right here at this current moment, but like I'm working until basically 8:00 every night, sometimes later. It's on my clock for my family. It's not on someone else's clock for their family. And that's not to hate on anyone who wants to do that, because I think we need those people. You know, it's very important in life, but it's just not me. I think I'm honestly unemployable because I have things I want to do, and it's not going to work for someone else.
Dude, Applebee's isn't, you know, I think they'd take you back.
I think, dude, I was an Apple All-Star.
Yeah. I feel like you could probably...
I'm just saying, from the story you told me earlier, you know, you were cutting those slider buns faster than I've ever seen anybody cut.
Dude, 10 minutes, 50 buns. I was an all-star.
Right.
Yeah,
me and Kyle both did broil station. For those of you who don't know, that's high level because you're cooking the steaks,
that's where the big
chicken.
dogs go.
That's where the big dogs go. You got to be a baller to get to broil.
You get the broil. That's the highest ticket items in there.
It really is, yeah.
$12 sirloin.
I knew broil, mid, or was it grill and fry station?
Mid. Was it mid?
Yeah. But I wasn't mid. Yeah. I was no cap.
I only slid down to mid to make myself the delicious queso burger, you know?
Oh, man, those things were just,
there is
I was way fatter back then, but it was just too much for me. It was too greasy.
Oh, bud.
Yeah, I had this thing.
You were above it?
When it rolls down my arm, it's too much for me.
Jeff, have you had a queso burger, bud?
No.
You've never had a queso burger?
No, I always pick the stuff.
It's a burger with a quesadilla as the bun.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I actually would be repulsed by that.
But not two individual quesadillas. It's like the top quesadilla, the bottom quesadilla, and then the meat.
Meat in the middle. And then you put what was the Mexi sauce on it?
The Mexican, the Mexi Ranch. The Mexi Ranch with pico.
Just straight like mayonnaise.
Dude, I remember when I worked there, I drank so much, and I used to get like blackout and go to Applebee's and half price apps.
You and Kyle live the same life.
Dude, 20 boneless wings, mozzarella sticks, spinach dip, and just house all of it.
Right. Yeah.
I was never above Applebee's, but I would always I wouldn't pass a Chili's to go to Applebee's. So I was more of a Chili's guy.
I can't stand Chili's.
Wow, it's got a resurgence. I mean, Chili's is popping off right now.
It really is, but they lost me with those mozzarella sticks that are tossed in sauce. I tried one.
Hot mozz sticks?
Yeah, I tried one and it was buffalo, and it's like my brain is telling me I'm eating a hot wing, but it's mushy like a mozzarella stick.
Yeah,
and
textures on that is pretty
to this
tough.
day I don't know if I like it or hate it. Like I just could not wrap my mind around it.
Honey Chipotle chicken crispers though.
Those are good.
Yeah, those smack. All right, let's get into the real meat and bones of this podcast, and that is
the boneless meat.
I wanted to be like Daniel Jones, because it's like that's
Indiana Jones, baby.
That's what we really.
I'm a believer.
Talk about. But no, for real. I went to the Olympia last weekend, right? And I saw a bunch of new equipment. And I'm kidding. I'm not kidding when I say this. Your body shop gyms, I think, are well known for just the hand-picked equipment that you guys have put in there. From all, ranges, different, eras of fitness. Yeah. It's just like you guys have some unbelievable equipment, and I want you to name off a handful of those pieces here in a second. But what I saw at the Olympia was a ton of new equipment I've never seen before, to be honest. And it was like, do we need this?
Space age, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, do we need this shit? Or is this just another... is this a new gym lighting thing to
the hex lighting?
Yeah, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's another era of like, this is what the newest gyms are going to have to be more Instagrammable, if you will. And I was like, when do we stop? Are we getting too far in the equipment in your eyes? Or is it something that you think
Luke,
really
pull up
brings
new equipment. Let me see what we got going on.
Let me ask you this direct question. Are we going too far with gym equipment these days? Or is it something where you like, hey, less is more?
Yeah, I feel like some of it is really cool and I really like, and some of it I just don't understand. It's some of the pieces, the floor space is just so massive. Like I don't need a piece to take up 15 by a 15 spot, and they're so big. There's so many moving parts. To me, there's just more things that can
singular
break.
Pieces of equipment that take up cable tower space.
Yes. And honestly, we are known for our equipment. We have the Nautilus pullover, we have the Nautilus pull down, our Body Masters T-bar row, Pro Maxima T-bar row. We have some Arsenal stuff. And then we have some good, just old hammer strength pieces. And Body Shop has evolved over the years, because I remember when I first started Body Shop, I wanted the best gym that there could be. Right. And then as I kind of got into it, I realized I didn't just want to be the best, because in my eyes, our gym's philosophy with hand-picked equipment, you can't recreate the same facility twice. They're all going to be different. So I don't need to worry about creating the single best facility. My goal is, how do I create as many great facilities for as many people as possible? And a lot of that means I'm not niching down to just bodybuilders. I'm not niching down to just fitness competitors. And even though we kind of started like that, we have a really wide variety of just like your average gym goer. And a lot of the new equipment, I love it, but I won't buy half of it probably, because a lot of it is just, unless you're a nerd, you don't understand how to use it. Yeah. There are pieces that I see and I'm like, okay, give me a minute here. And I have pieces in my gym now your average person doesn't want to use because they don't understand it. And if it doesn't get used, why am I going to buy an $8,000 piece of equipment and it doesn't get used? I'm just going to end up selling it for something else, which I'll do from time to time. If a piece doesn't get used, I'm going to sell it and get something else.
Yeah,
but
it's taking up valuable floor space.
I want cool pieces, but I need some type of simplicity. I don't need 1,000 moving parts to where someone doesn't understand how to use it.
Caleb, I stumbled across this little piece of Instagram not long ago of these kids that don't look like they're working out at all, and they
the science basters,
right?
Oh
and
my God.
they put the
cuffs
around,
the cuffs and the straps, yes.
And then they don't have any range of motion.
Yes.
And then they put like a
what's happening?
What's happening there?
What is that?
What is that? I'm getting older. This is how I know I'm getting older, because these kids are talking shit.
They're talking
like,
crazy shit.
What is going on
here?
here?
The thing is
I'm
that
that kid weighs 160. Why is he talking shit?
Maybe 1 out of 20 has like a good physique. Their argument is that you're taking all the moving parts out of it, right? So if I'm training my lat,
you're isolating, full isolation
in a Keenan flap or whatever the hell it's called. I'm taking the bicep, I'm taking the forearm out, so I'm being 100% as perfect as possible, and it's like. But
do you not want big biceps? Is my question.
Yeah, but then it's like, but I want to train my bicep too. It's like it's kind of added into my volume. But those same kids who are like, "Oh, I'm so perfect," they'll always tell you how much weight they're moving. And I think honestly, it's like it just comes back to ego. It's like they feel better because if they did the movement normal, they can only use a quarter of the weight.
Just for my loose understanding, it'd be like the example would be like if let's say I had just for hypothetical, if I was like squatting, right?
Yeah.
On the barbell. I'm just going like, just like 6 inches.
But that's the thing. They're not doing compound lifts. So it's machines only. So and like, so let's say, the hammer high row, almost everyone knows who that is. They'll put a daisy chain with a cuff and connect it right here, and they'll start here. And then they hold a handle they call a Bluetooth handle because it helps activate their forearm.
Their handle's not attached to anything, Jeff. This is a ridiculous
but it helps
looking
activate
thing.
because there is studies that show the harder you grip it, the more activation you're going to get. So they're still gripping here. And then they row from here to here. And this is the movement.
You also could just grip the actual handle.
You could, and it would make it a lot easier. And you wouldn't waste an hour on a machine getting set up. I mean,
are there
crazy.
any of these people that roam around the body shop?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It drives me crazy.
Well, I'm not trying to talk smack. This is something
it's just we're being old farts. Dude, and we're like, what are these kids doing?
And I get it. And like at the end of the day, like, dude, I get it. I don't have that impressive a physique. I'm not a pro, but I'm a lot bigger than not you, but like, well, you too, but but also,
bro, don't come at me like that.
The person that's doing it, like, I'm like, I outweigh you by over 100 pounds. Why you don't want to at least listen to anything I have to say? Like, people pay me money to tell them what to do. And I don't tell them that, and I'm getting more results than what you're getting.
Yeah.
This is just a typical, which has gone on in different generations forever. It's majoring in the minors, right?
Yeah.
It's like, for our generation, it was, everyone always they over focus on things that don't make as big of a difference. I just think this might be the new generation of,
I think
if it fits your macros when that first came out,
it
was like people were like, you don't need to, and they were like celebrate by eating pizza.
Yeah.
And like, that was all over Instagram. Like, I'm eating Pop-Tarts. Look at my abs. Right. You know what I mean?
You're a freak because if half of us did that, we'd be fat.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because all calories are not the same. And I think it's just a way to look for an easy way to get around the hard work that goes into it.
Here's my thing. It's fun working out though. Like,
I have a blast.
If you work out consistently over time, you grow to really enjoy the process of it. And it's like, I'm not looking to make it easier necessarily.
No, I'm almost looking, how do I make this movement harder?
Harder, right?
Yeah.
The way I would look at that too, though, is do you not see that people are like, their identity is tied to, them being like the contrarian fitness person. They have to do something different to like stand out.
Because that's good. Is it contrarian going on?
Because it's just not, you know what I mean? Because it's not about like the physique. It's about like, I'm smarter than you, I'm better than you. There's always some lifters in the gym that are like that, unfortunately, and they just haven't kind of like grown out of that yet.
Yeah.
But they're walking around like they learned about something 2 weeks ago, and they're telling everybody like how smart they are.
Dunning-Kruger effect.
Well, it is that, and I think everyone. I saw a study not too long ago, but they took what's the latest generation? Is it
Gen Alpha?
Is it Gen Alpha? And it was like 60% wanted to be an influencer. Like it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a policeman. I want to play in the NFL. No, I want to be a YouTuber, or I want to be an influencer. So I think everyone is looking for a way.
I want to matter is all they're really saying out loud, though, which is crazy.
I want to matter. They want to niche out this tiniest thing and make a living doing that. And it's like, instead of putting in the work or creating a new idea or just something that like works. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I just don't think it's very effective. Because you're not seeing someone blow up who is doing Keenan flaps. Now I use
Lunsford is not like probably doing that type of stuff.
Yeah, and then they're getting on ChatGPT, they're reading it, and then they're reading it, and it's like they think they're the master in it, and then they get on, let's say, a podcast where they have to debate, and it's like they had nothing to say.
I also having
professional athlete being that far down makes me so sad.
I also
that small teacher,
everybody
an online streamer, and 17% being an entrepreneur. It's like everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. I get someone who tells me every week they want to open a gym, and I hope you do. Like, I hope it's great.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, well, what's your number one? You know, what would you do? It's like, make sure you have a full-time job, because it takes a minute to build stuff up. It's,
you know what I try to ask people nowadays when they say that to me, I just say like, okay, what does the market need you for?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that as being a smart ass.
Yep.
I'm like, have you considered that, what you want to do is not for any other reason besides for your own selfish gain?
Yeah.
And it's not because you see an actual problem that needs solving or a hole in the marketplace that you can feel like you can fill it better than anybody else.
Yep.
It's like, I want to open a gym someday. It's like, well, what gym sucks here that you think needs to be replaced?
Yeah.
You know
And all gyms will work.
Market will tell you.
All gyms will work, and you just have to figure out where you're at. Yeah, it's what is the market not getting? In Kansas City, when I opened, there really wasn't a lot of locally owned gyms, and now there is.
I'm psyched about it, dude. It's awesome.
It's great, and it's like, but what makes you different? And what makes Body Shop different is handpicked equipment with great customer service and like a community. Mm-hmm. You're not going to find that at bigger chains, and there are other locally owned gyms in the area that do that great. Right? It's just you have to pick what's for you.
We had Sid on last week.
Yeah,
from Beastified. And dude, shout out Sid, but he had mentioned your gym as like an example of a gym that like he likes, that he admires, he respects, etc. And I was just going to ask you, like, they have a good community as well at Beastified, but I was going to ask you if there's another gym in Kansas City that you think like, man, they do a good job as well. Who would you want to shout out? Yeah,
I mean, I think Sid does a good job. I think Jason does a good job up at Flex. You know what I mean? I think JP does great. I'm in a position where it's like, I don't have a problem with you if you own a gym. Like,
totally,
I'm not your enemy. Like, Keani and Alex and I, like,
no
I would consider
mindset out of you at all.
Yeah, we're all friends. And they do different what we do. Foundation is different.
Shout out Alex. Shout out JP at Strong Barbell Club.
Yeah, Foundation is different. Sid is different. Jason is different from everyone. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm in a position where I know some of them don't like each other, but I have no beef with Sid. I have none with Matt. I have none with Jason. I have none with JP. I'll talk to you when I see you. I hope you do well, but I want to win. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't hope for your downfall. I hope that I'll just beat you by winning. Right. I don't know. I like to be in that area. Like, I don't want to have beef with another gym. It's just annoying. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of my energy. Yeah, and I'm not going to bother myself with it. Yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, like, we have enough competition out here, you know what I'm saying, on the non-local gyms that are, just big box gyms. Like, why are we not supporting each other here?
And as a locally owned business, you have to work 100 times harder than any other business, because it's like, how many times have you guys been to Starbucks and they messed your order up?
I mean, 100 times.
Almost every other time you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And do we go back? Yeah.
Convenience.
Okay. But let's go to a local coffee shop who messes our order up and we don't really like it. That person is 10 times more likely to leave a bad review and never go back because of one mess up. And it's like,
it's branding.
It's branding. McDonald's and Starbucks will mess up all the time, and they'll be mean to you, and you'll go back. But you'll go here where you get good service. But one thing is messed up.
I'd argue it's just convenience, though. I mean, like,
you're not wrong.
I mean, like, I have a Genesis membership. What? Like, why would I pay for a Genesis membership if I love local fitness so much?
They're everywhere. It makes it easy.
Because we have a little girl. We need childcare. It's literally right. We have one attached to this office. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, like, above all else, I need to be able to make it.
That is an aspect of the gym business that you can't, it's super, it impacts everything, is where your gym is at, because, most people are not going to drive a significant amount of time to go to the gym every day.
Yeah, I would agree.
If it's not on their path, right?
If it's not on their path. We had a guy just cancel yesterday, and he was like, I love this place. The equipment's great. The atmosphere is great. The community's great. So why are you quitting? It's just my other way from work, and the other gym's just on my way. I'll probably be back in a month. And it's like, okay, man. Okay. Yeah, we'll see you when you come back.
We get it. Yeah.
But that's the thing with Body Shop, right? In 10 years, like, that's what I want for Body Shop, is that we are so everywhere that, like, not only are we great, but we're also your convenience factor.
Right.
That's the goal.
Yeah. So when somebody leaves your gym, do you have, like, essentially an exit interview with them, or a process that you guys go through with that?
I mean, it's mainly just a talk. We don't do an interview. We'll ask why you're leaving. if there's anything we could have done, and then we mark it within the system. Like, what is the reason for leaving? We don't just let people go with.
Right. You're trying to improve. Right.
Yeah. It's like, what did we do wrong? Yeah. And half the time we didn't do anything wrong. Now there are some people that we're just not for them.
Sure.
And that's okay. We're not for everyone. That's why Coke and Pepsi exist, because not everyone likes one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think you want to use, I think criticism is good. Where can we get better?
What's a way for you to, I feel like it might be difficult to get an honest answer out of people, especially when they know that you own the gym.
Yeah.
A lot of people try to avoid confrontation.
Yeah.
The amount of times that, we know we've messed up, and we tell a customer like, hey, we know we messed up, and they're like, oh no, you're fine. And it's like, we saw the email you sent.
Yeah.
Like, please don't pretend as if it wasn't a big deal to
Yeah.
you. You said some heinous things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, your review was pretty bad. Like, it was pretty mean.
Yeah.
And I know you're not as emotional about it now, but now that you're looking me in the eye and you know that I'm human, you might not talk the same.
For sure.
So my point is, like, is there a way that for us as business owners, we can get some authentic feedback on situations? Because it's like, surveys are arduous. A lot of people don't want to fill them out. It takes time. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a better way to get some real feedback from people.
Yeah, that's hard. I mean, the best feedback we get are people, I would say, complaining to the trainers, because they feel like the trainers kind of run their own thing. They're not really responsible for cleaning,
the upkeep of the gym, if you will.
I found I get a lot of good information from my trainers. And funny enough, Tatiana, people because she doesn't want to be public, they don't realize who she is. And so sometimes they'll just be blasting her with stuff, and she'll just come to me with it. You know what I mean? So,
you're obviously not following the Body Shop page.
Shit rolls downhill, buddy.
Yeah, it rolls downhill. And some of the complaints are, they're warranted. You know what I mean? I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's like, if it's something that's bad, it's like, yeah, man, you're right. We could do that better.
That's the way you always got to have, the mindset you got to have in business is, always can be better.
Yeah, we just had a big one. I just let go of literally my entire staff in Lee Summit. I mean, it was like 4 people. And I had to eat shit, and I sent out an email apologizing. Things weren't up to our standards. It wasn't up to their standards. As someone who chooses to pay money to be there, when someone comes into S2, they have a standard of what they expect. They have a standard.
Apologize. This email went out to the members.
To the members.
Got it.
Current and past.
Uh-huh.
But when someone comes into S2, they have a standard that they're expecting. They're expecting good prices, good service, knowledge, cleanliness, right? I mean, off the top of my head that I can think of.
Yeah, those are all very good.
So when they sign up at Body Shop, they're expecting equipment upkeep. They're expecting, updates when they're needed. They're expecting, it's going to be clean, and, the service is going to be good. So when we're getting these things, and the
good culture,
when we're getting things where they're signing up for these and it's not happening, you got to course correct. And sometimes it's easier to I don't want to say cut bait, but just start way over than it is to try to course correct the people that have been there for a little bit, because it's like,
hard to teach an old dog new tricks.
Exactly. And a lot of that's my fault. I'm the owner. It starts with me. The leadership starts with me. And that was my fault, that I tried to be a little too hands off and let it kind of stand on its own. And that's where I kind of realized where it made me rethink my entire org chart. It made me rethink the brand. It made me rethink how I need to view it. And that's where I kind of lean into being more the face, being more around, having staff, but building out like a regional manager position where I'm not going to have a manager per location. I'm going to have great staff, and that manager's job is to travel, work at this gym this day, this gym that day, this gym that day. Is vending being stocked? Is the gym being cleaned? Are people showing up? Are people being treated well? Are they getting highs, goodbyes, smiles? Is things just happening how it's supposed to through the SOP and what we expect? So it was rough at first, but I think it's been a blessing in disguise.
Is it hard to control, because your business is kind of unlike our business where, when you're a member at a gym, you are a big part of that culture, so it's like almost the people that are members there dictate the culture more than the staff do in a weird way. Is it hard to manage that?
I think it can be, but
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
because it's like my gym, it begins to feel like a second home for you, and you kind of begin to, somewhat dictate the culture there. And it's like, if you have toxic members in there, I'm not saying you do, but
we've kicked them out.
Right.
I've kicked out a couple people. I've kicked out trainers. At the end of the day, the money isn't worth the cancer. And I think that's the biggest thing especially I've kicked out people, and it's made like a substantial financial impact on my life, but is that finance worth the cancer that it's causing? Because, you know, like you said, shit rolls downhill, right? But I just had a talk with a member like a month ago, and he was like, man, you know, you're not in OP as much anymore. You know, you're in Lee Summit. I just feel like sometimes the culture changes when you're not here. I'm like, dude, it's not my job to keep the culture. Like, I'm here. I said it. You've been a member here since day one. Like, it's the member's job now. Like, I can do what I can, but I can't be here all times of the day. It's our equipment. It's our gym. It's not just mine. So it's like, you see someone leaving weights on, like, hey man, you know, what we do here is we put our weights back. Hey, you see someone with the shirt off? Hey man, like Caleb's big thing is like shirts on unless you're in the posing area.
Jeff, he couldn't work out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
He only works out with skins.
You know, it's like
top off workouts only.
Yeah. If someone's, you know, if people are being disrespectful and poor gym etiquette, it'd be like, hey man, it's like, I'm just trying to work in here. Like, hey, let's do this. It's like
self-regulate the culture.
Yeah. I'm not saying be an asshole, but it's like, course correct. It's like, I can't fix everyone. You know what I mean?
Beautiful that you give them ownership. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I give them ownership.
Because people already have ownership. That's why they're bringing it up to you. But it's like when you put it back on them where you're like, hey man, this is your gym as much as it's my gym. You know, we all have a duty to, you know, keep the standards high, right?
Yeah. Leadership isn't a title.
Right. You know,
just because I'm the owner doesn't mean I'm the one that gets to go do this. It's a matter of what kind of behavior do you want to see in this gym and make sure that you're, you know, obviously course correcting like you're saying, but also let's reward the behavior we want to see there too. Yeah.
And that's what we've done. And we give that ownership, but if it's overstepped, we have to course correct. You know what I mean? Like, we have one that I can think about, like, there was an easy thing where it could have just been, hey man, like, you need to keep your shirt on, like, on the equipment. That's why the posing area is there. That's like one of the biggest rules here. Instead, it's like, put your effing shirt on from across the gym. And then it's like, it's amplified from that side. It's amplified from this side. And it's like, dude, absolutely not. Like, this is your one and only warning. Not again. You know what I mean? So it's great.
That's a fighting tone.
It was, and 100% it was. It was just way more combative than it needed to be. Right. It's not, if you came up to me and I didn't know, you know, because that kid, he was on a day pass, and it's like, oh, at my gym, we're allowed to take our shirt off. I just didn't know that was a thing. Yeah. If I would have known that, I would just put my shirt back on. It's not the end of the world. So I think just having things like that and giving your members ownership to help course correct and be like, hey man, we need to put our weights back, you know, because it tears up the equipment.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I did a video on not too long ago, but you know, a $6,000 piece of equipment, $5,000 piece of equipment at our normal 1 year membership rate is $55 a month. I think it's like 8 years of membership dues for one piece of equipment. And it's like, we all own this piece of equipment. Let's not leave weight on it. Let's not tear it up because it's.
I felt that was a good video because it, you know, like I said, it just kind of gives everybody a perception. It helps people understand the value of the equipment that they're using, and it also hopefully gives them ownership in it a little bit as well. Yeah,
because it's just different, right? Like $5,000 goes so much different in every business. Like if you guys had $5,000 to order supplements, you would get way more bang for your buck than I'm going to get for my buck.
Right.
You know, you may get
buying power,
a pallet. You know, I don't know how much at wholesale prices, but my buying power for $5,000 is like one piece of equipment. So it's like where you can bring in all this cool stuff. It's like, hey, I got one. We'll get another one in like 6 months.
Right.
Yeah, it's just totally different. So it's like just, I think, respecting what you have and taking care of what you have, and you know, it goes a long way.
I agree, man. And it sounds like you guys have built a good culture for that, but as far as like, you know, you mentioned Lee Summit. For all of our listeners, a lot of them, I think, have, you know, longed to either open their own gym someday or make fitness into a career for them. What are just some things that like you would tell yourself advice-wise, going back to just the, you know, that Lee Summit email that you sent out? You know, if you could go back in time, what advice would you give yourself?
Yeah, I think just not being so hands-off. You know, I think I wanted to. Some of the problems we had with Overland Park was that, like, if I wasn't there, things weren't right. Okay, well, that just means that I made a decision somewhere that was not good, you know, whether that be who I put in charge or a decision I made for the members. So it's like, I think just making better decisions, not acting so fast. I have a very bad habit of being impulsive, and I'm like, I want to do this, and I do it now. I don't take time to think it over. I don't take time to build it up, you know, whether it's like a new way to order drinks through, like before we had vending machines, we had to do it through an iPad, and it's like I released it in one day and it was like, it had so many problems, right? And it just caused more of a headache. So I think just being more involved from the get-go, I didn't want Lee Summit to be like Overland Park was, where like Overland Park was my identity. I wanted Lee Summit to kind of stand on its own. And so by not being there and being the one from the top down to set what I wanted, it just didn't go the way I wanted.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Sure. Takes a lot to remove yourself like that.
Yeah. And going back, like I don't regret opening Lee Summit, but I regret opening Lee Summit as fast as I did because, a lot of people forget, like we opened in 2020 in December, we expanded in 22 March, and we opened June of 24. I mean, it was like bam, bam, bam. And, we didn't have SOPs. None of our processes were set, and that's my fault. We didn't have as much cash saved up as we probably should have. That's my fault. And just different things like that. So it's like, as soon as we opened, people don't realize that like owning one business is hard. Owning two is like way worse because you're doubling the stuff you're responsible for and you only have the one income. So it's like you're spread really thin. And when you have all those holes in your boat, I wasn't prepared for. And so like the first 6 months to a year was just bailing water out of the boat as fast as possible to try to stay afloat. And then it's like, oh shit, maybe we should make some SOPs. Maybe we should make
remember the conversation
a standardized training, right?
I remember we talked about this and I said, this was the hardest thing I've ever done in business.
Yeah.
And it was going from 1 to 2.
It's awful.
Well, and what's crazier, it's probably even easier for us, than it would have been for you. And the reason why I say that is because Kyle and I had already had like 10 years of running stores on our own, right?
Yeah.
On our own right. And so it was like, at the worst case scenario, when you have 2, we could just, take the keys from everybody else and say, this is just us now. We're going to work open to close.
Yep.
And we can make it work. But when you go from 1 to 2 and, it's just you and obviously Tati, but like you were being the face, like you were saying, it's impossible to be in 2 places at once. And so if there's a fire in each spot, which I know of course had to have happened at some point, you're just like, well, shit. Now I got to be okay with something being on fire a little longer.
Dude, all the time. And I'll talk about it now because I think it's been so long, but I kind of touched on the equipment thing when we first opened Lee Summit, right? So we're getting stuff done. We didn't have as much money saved up. So I'm paying monthly on my equipment to an equipment guy. I have a contractor who wasn't as good as what I wanted because I honestly couldn't afford more. So we had different problems going on. And then 3 weeks before we open, I get a call that, hey man, we're filing bankruptcy. We're closing. Excuse me? Like I've paid you $100,000 in equipment. Like, what does that mean? He's like, well, yeah, I think we have you set up, but yeah, we're filing bankruptcy. And then I get called the next day. It's like a Sunday.
This is your equipment guy.
My equipment guy. Yeah. It's actually his girlfriend at the time because he had gone,
AWOL?
Basically. Yeah. It wasn't good. I don't want to air his business out besides, I'm airing this out, but like not his personal business.
But yeah, you were like and you guys were on the clock to open and you don't even have all the equipment.
And I'm being told I had no equipment. So,
but you've already given him the money.
I'd already given him. Yeah. So it's like, this TMI, but like you don't have a solid bowel movement for a week, 2 weeks. Cause it's like, you're just so stressed out. And then you get a call. It's like, it's a Sunday night and it's, hey, the bank's going to be here Wednesday. And it's like, if you don't have your stuff, it's gone. And so I call, 2 of my employees, I call my best friend and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, what can we do? And they're like, and they cleared their schedule and we drove down basically overnight. We loaded equipment, what we could for
it was like
7
midnight,
hours.
Right?
Yeah. We loaded equipment from 3 p.m. to about 1 a.m. By this time, Nick Trigili had done videos on it. So people were showing up. Not only were they showing up, they had weapons because it was like he owed people thousands and hundreds of, money. And, when you're dealing with gym owners like me who are all into bodybuilding, typically bodybuilders a lot of them are into other things, other
activities,
chemicals, activities, and they're not always the nicest people. And when you owe them a lot of money, things can go crazy, right? Because people's lives are on the line. So people had weapons, and it was, we're in this small town, we're in the middle of nowhere, and it's 1:30 a.m. and you hear, where the F is this person? And it's like, bro, we gotta go. Like, we gotta go now. And so we got half of what we were supposed to have. I came home, I had to spend $20,000 the next day because I had zero cardio, so we filled up what we could. We got home, we finally opened. My contractor, he just wasn't good. he didn't put drop down sprinklers in any of the bathrooms because it wasn't on the plans. Well, it's like now come to find out that's a code thing. You're a contractor. I didn't
pass
know that.
Permit for that.
So we open a gym with half our equipment, no ceilings in our bathrooms, which is very, I mean, even me, like I'll let a lot go, but even I felt kind of exposed.
Right.
And we just had so many uphill battles, right? And it's like, maybe I should have waited. Things happen for a reason. We're through it. We're cash flowing. And it's like, it's one of the craziest stories, but now I can't wait to open a third because, wow, things are going to be so different.
You learn. It's a growing. You grow through it, and you kind of learn. The lessons and what to do, what not to do.
Yeah, and all during this time, my wife was pregnant with our daughter, so it's like it's insane.
No stress, right? Yeah, dude. I just want to state for everybody listening, like the amount of times that you will, talk yourself out of making, a change or a choice or a decision because of the uncertainty, because of what you don't know. I just want to really highlight like that story, Caleb, because you didn't know what, you didn't know about that inspection aspect, and you didn't know what you could have done here or there, like what's possible. And so it's just the straight up, like your ability to say like, I'll figure it out as I go. I'm going to trust myself to get myself out of messes when messes happen. And you decided I'm going to do this anyway. You know what I mean? Because you feel like you had that belief. And so that's just something I think people really need to understand, that nobody has all the answers.
No.
You're going to learn the most from being in the trenches, from getting dirty, from getting messy, and making, big swings along the way. It can't happen any other way. I mean, you can plan for the rest of your life, but it's why I feel like Nike's tagline's the best of all time, of just do it.
Yeah, you just got to do it. And if you're faced with opportunities 9 times out of 10 or decisions, I would say almost 10 out of 10, the hardest decision or the hardest choice is a choice that has to be made. Because if we're making the easy decision, it's because it makes our life easy, right? Mm-hmm. Letting go of my staff, that made my life way harder. My wife had to basically, she takes care of the kids night to day or day to night, however you want to say it. I'm around on the weekends, but basically during the week, I'm pretty hands off because I have to be. And as much as she doesn't like it, she also understands it and supports it, and also knows it's just a short time thing. Mm-hmm. Look at what you guys are doing right now with the traveling. It's crazy, but it has to be done.
Takes what it takes.
It takes what it takes. And I think that's why I don't think everyone's built to be an entrepreneur, because it's like being an entrepreneur is great. You make $3,000 one week and you spend $30,000 the next week. It's like, now we're in the hole. What the F do we do? Like, I don't know how we're going to eat next week. It's just crazy, man. It's a roller coaster, but dude, it's so much fun.
I want to switch gears real quick to Blank Slate Fitness. That's cool.
Yeah.
Blank Slate, online coaching business, Kyle and I have been around for the start, the middle, and where we're at now. And it's just like when it first started, man, it was like, I mean, dude, what's better than in-person training? Like you can't beat it. In-person training is always going to be, and I still feel there's always going to be a place for in-person training, of course. But I'm saying that like the amount of that online coaching has grown is bananas.
It's crazy.
Bananas. And, I'm so happy for you and for your family that you guys have been able to grow Blank Slate Fitness, just the online training and coaching business, into over a 6-figure business. That's so impressive, dude. But what I was going to ask specifically on is just how do you feel like the online coaching business has been doing recently, and where do you think it's going, especially with AI coming and so forth?
Yeah, it's strong, and it's only going to get better. I mean, it's only going to get bigger. I mean, fitness isn't going anywhere. We're at a spot where the last 10 years, it was all body positivity and this and that. And I think we're actually moving back to where it was in the 90s, where like people want to be thin again. We're seeing the rise of the Ozempics and different things like that. And I think fitness is such a booming industry. The Olympia keeps growing. It's not going anywhere. And with that, you need more coaches. And I think with the addition of social media and coaching, bad coaches are getting weeded out faster than ever. Back in the day, if you were kind of a shiesty person, you could make it last a long time because word didn't get around. And now you have people that'll just blow you up, like a Goob or something like that, if you're like really messing up. And I think the fitness industry is such a low barrier to entry because there is a lot of money to be made. But if you don't love it, you're weeded out pretty quick. And if you're taking 3 days to respond, if you're asking for naked photos, for check-in photos, if you're doing these different things.
Oh, what? I can't do that?
Yeah, right. It's not going to last. So I think
sending in naked photos of myself.
I think the coaching industry is just going to continue to grow over year. I mean, we're seeing days now where people are building 7-figure coaching businesses, and they're, I know people personally that, I'm a 6-figure. They're multi 6-figure. Like I'm in a group now. I'm going to a retreat next week that I've been in a mentorship group for about 4 years now. And it's like, you have to be at a certain income level to be in this group. And I'm a small fish. It's like, I like there was a girl in there when I first started, she was doing $70,000 a month coaching. She had Uber clients like crazy.
My question to you is, like, in this entrepreneurship group, what is the focal points that they talk about mostly? Like, what best practices do they help you with the most?
Vision, goal setting, systems, how to rework what you're already doing to make it better, refinement, never thinking that you have it perfect. Where can we be better? They do, I have a gym mentor in there, there's coaching mentors, and it's way more than that. Now it's like a small business roundtable almost, where you can come in with problems and you have people with fitness backgrounds, you have a doctor, you have a plumber in the same group. It started off with just fitness. And now it's like, we come to find that we all kind of have the same problems. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. And now it's like, how can we collectively fix it? So not only are you supported, but you're supported by people who are doing the same thing you are and the same problems you are, maybe on a smaller scale or maybe on a bigger scale. Like, I'm in this group with people who own 6 gyms. I'm in with this group who make triple what I make in coaching. It's like, how can I be better? How can I better serve? And this is how we're going to do it with systems, goals, and things like that. I think a lot of people limit themselves in their vision. They don't know what they want. So it's like, if you don't know what you want, like, how are you even going to get there?
That's a really great point.
Very good point.
You're in a spot now, dude. Go ahead, Kyle. You got something.
Well, I was going to say, this is kind of switching gears, but obviously you mentioned the Olympia growing. The Olympia was this past weekend. What's your feedback on it?
Yeah, I thought it was. On the open, I liked Hottie a little better. I just like that harder, grainier physique. But Derek,
Derek's
his physique is crazy. It's unmatched. I think the biggest thing is Nick not in the top 5, and I think a lot of people are mad about that. And I kind of felt like that was going to happen, just not because Nick's not good. Nick is fantastic.
Who didn't belong? Besides, if Nick needed to be in the top 5, who gets kicked out?
I don't think anyone does.
Nick
I don't
Walker.
think anyone does, because here's the thing, right? It's apples to oranges. So if you have 5 apples, Nick is the only orange. It just doesn't work. Like, how do you compare a freak physique like a Nick Walker to the aesthetics of, and I hate that word, but to the flow of a Derek, to a Martin, to a Samson? It's like,
dude, Martin's going to be, he's good.
Yeah,
dude.
You can't compare it. And then you had Dino winning the Classic. I thought that was nuts.
Yeah, insane. Did you see that coming?
I thought it was going to be Mike, because I wanted Terrence to win, but I thought Mike just had too much muscle.
Right.
But yeah.
Does he go to bodybuilding next year?
I think Mike almost needs to. I think at this point, Classic will always be Classic. I think it'll continue to grow, but now we're at a point to where we're seeing these Classic guys go back to the open because they're suffering their health by trying to make weight. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, they went to Classic to be safer for their health, but they're such freaks that they've gained so much muscle that now they're having to jeopardize their health just to take, like, if you're taking diuretics and all this stuff just to make weight, it's like, man, you need to probably move up. And now look at like someone like Urs, who, like, he took the governor off and he gained like 40 pounds in a year.
Was he top? Did he finish top 10?
I think he was like 12, 14.
That was his debut though, right?
Pull that up.
But this was his first year in the open.
Yeah.
Is that from
Urs was like, I felt like the most freakiest physique. God.
Yeah, it's like, just look at Nick right there from the shape of his legs. Like, he's a freak, and his physique is cool, but it's like, it just doesn't compare to
blocky.
The prettiness of everyone else.
You know what's crazy about Nick is, like, people are like, he's blocky, but if you remember, like, Branch Warren, it's like Nick is not Branch Warren. He's not like that blocky.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
Branch Warren was finishing top 3 in the Olympia for a long time.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, his back shots, I think, are insane. I think a lot of it just comes down to his lower body. Like, he's very truncated. There's not a lot of shape there. It's just like blocks, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, Hottie looks better here. Samson downsized a little bit.
Yeah, I think he tried to come in too shredded to compete with the smaller guys. Smaller, they're not small,
shorter,
but you know what I mean. And I think he lost a lot of that pop and fullness. I think you see that a lot of times with, especially in the bigger leagues, with, like, your African-American bodybuilders are so round and so bubbly, and maybe they don't get quite as shredded
it's crazy
as some of the other guys.
Click on that one.
But
it's
they
crazy
lose.
that Curry's still doing it too.
I know, but they lose that bubbliness and that fullness. I mean, look at Neckzilla right there. I don't even know his name. I just know him by Neckzilla.
Bro, his freaking legs are stupid.
Yeah. Now that's blocky.
Yes. Yeah, but dude, insane.
Neckzilla, dude. Unreal.
I've never been to the Olympia. Is there as much like combat boots as you would find in like the Arnold?
You know, it's a good question.
Or is it more like unbuttoned silk shirts?
There was a lot.
I think it's combat boots.
No.
Yeah, there was a lot of boots for sure. It was a lot of like cutoffs, right? Like button up cutoffs.
Yeah.
You know, like the old blank slate. Still
got mine.
cutoffs.
Yeah, you still got it?
Still got it.
I love those.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that. Like I said, the apparel was huge this year.
The apparel game is crazy. It's
Apparel
like,
game and the fitness equipment game.
Yeah.
Lots of supplements too, but not nearly as many. And then tons of energy drinks too, right?
they're everywhere.
Yeah, man, everywhere. And Legendary Foods, I want to shout out Ron, who is, you know, like the real big brain behind that operation. He's the guy that actually started Quest Nutrition and sold it for in the billions, right?
That's nuts.
And then he decided, I'll start out Legendary Foods too with another guy named Bruce. Super good dude. He's actually sent us some stuff for the show as far as like reviews and stuff. But talking to Ron, they were displaying their new macaroni and cheese, like instant, like almost like an easy mac, right? For protein mac and cheese. It was 47 grams of protein and 7 net carbs. And they had it for sample, like warmed up, you know, heated up in like a crock pot. And bro, it was awesome. It wasn't like kind of good. It was awesome.
How much fiber is in it? Like that sounds next
You
to
don't
impossible.
shit for a long time.
It was wild, and I'll tell you,
Do they not have the nutrition info on
in
it?
the sauce. So it doesn't launch till next year, like not till March or April of next year. But he said they're going to send us some. But Ron, you know, to your
Go
point,
to the calories, Luke.
to your point that you were making earlier,
There's a drop down. Go down. There you go. Cals. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
there you go. It's just telling you how to.
Yeah, it just doesn't tell you.
Yeah, it tells you how to like do the math. All that to be said, dude, the guy was like such a wealth of knowledge. Like, I mean, dude, this guy is a billionaire, and he's like a leading cancer researcher as well.
That's sick.
And he's working the event like anybody else, and he's just kind of a behind the scenes guy, and like no one knows him. And myself and then co-founder of Supplement Superstores and First Form, Chris Klein, got to talk to him for a while. And anyways, he was just like one of the smartest people I've ever met. But he, what he said to me that was so like, I don't know, impactful or just made me maybe inspiring even.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, I'm like, dude, what makes you want to do this twice? Because you sold Quest for in the billions, you know? And he's like, yeah, now Quest actually reaches out to us to help them formulate their new bars because a marketing company bought them, not a protein company. He's like, we are a protein company at Legendary Foods. Like, we make protein, high protein foods. That's what we do, you know? And he's like, dude, we do it because it's hard. That's why I choose it. You know, he's like, I don't want to relax. I want to try to push myself and get to my potential. And so I do what's hard.
Yeah. I mean, to reach the point where you're selling a company for millions and millions and maybe billion, right? Mm-hmm. You're kind of wired different. And you built it to get that route. You're not just going to sit back and do nothing. Yeah,
but I feel like, you know, I mean, on a much unbelievably smaller scale for myself, I just feel like, you know, society wants to reward people for balance, you know, and for
balance sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not that if you enjoy balance in your life, like I'm happy for you. You know what I mean? Like if that's your prerogative, I'm not hating. I'm just saying that. For myself, at times when I go all in on things and I make it, you know, all of my focus. I mean, I was on vacation with some of my like high school friends this last summer, and I'll never forget. Their mom was like, "Jeff, you need to relax." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's just like,
"I am relaxed."
She's like that. She's like, "That's the key, Jeff. That's the secret. You just need to relax."
She sound like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm pretty good impersonations. She's sounded exactly like that. Pamela Nagel, she's awesome. But she said that to me, and it was kind of impactful to me in the sense of just like, what am I doing wrong here to you? I'm like, I feel great.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Dude.
I like being all in. You know,
Yeah.
I don't
Anybody who says, I want balance or I'm going to have balance or has balance in their job is the beneficiary of somebody who had ridiculously unbalanced life before them.
Yes. Yes. Balance is a thing where
like it's a super unappreciative way to look at life, to be like, I deserve balance. And it's like, well, you have that because somebody was willing to go all in on a gym and become very unbalanced financially, very unbalanced with their time for years and years and years, and stressed out of their mind.
Yeah.
So you could have balance.
Yeah. Balance is a thing where I think society promotes balance, because if all of society, I'm going to get deep here, right, was all balanced, then no one is stepping out of line.
Right.
There's no
the ultimate
go-getters.
crabs in the bucket. Right?
The ultimate crabs in a bucket. No one's doing these outlandish things like, and that's when
no one would push to
people,
inspire. No one would ever pull anybody along with them.
Yes, the people who preach balance are the same people who will look at me and say, God, you're so lucky. What do you mean? Oh, you just lucked out and look at you now. And it's like,
who said that to you?
Dude, I've had it a million times, but it's like,
that's wild.
It's not lucky to almost be out $100,000 and be missing half my equipment. It's not lucky to max out my credit card. It's not lucky to put my bank account, my wife's bank account, and every credit card we own all gone to open up one location.
Oh, dude, your phone getting turned off and you having to pick which bill to pay.
Yeah, or my phone getting charged, choosing to pick which bill to pay. Yeah, it's like none of this. That's not lucky. That's just like I bet on myself, and my wife believed in me, and we made it happen. And it's like, I feel like the people, it's just hard, man. It's like, oh, must be nice. Well, yeah, you know what?
To be clear,
it effing is nice because I worked my ass off to be here. And if I want to do, like the Paris trip, you know how many times it must be nice. It's like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It is nice because guess what? I worked really hard to be here, and this is my money I earned. And
sad,
you also,
I still worked while I was there, but I was still relaxed. I did payroll twice. I answered clients. I was standing in line for the Louvre reviewing client training videos. Mm-hmm. It's like, I enjoy what I do, but I can still relax by working and traveling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. People just are going to put things through their own lens and project their own values onto you. Yeah. And that's like, unfortunately, human nature at times, right?
Yeah.
You also have the people have to create the narrative in their head to be okay with their effort.
Their own decisions.
It's their own decisions. And I saw a Warren Buffett thing the other day, and he talked about where people won't be uncomfortable for 3 years, but are comfortable working for someone else for 40. And it's like, it's the craziest thing. And it's like, if, we travel a good bit. If I came home and I told my wife like, hey, we're going to have this coming up next year, like we're not traveling at all. She'd be pretty bummed out about it. She may cry, but she'd be like, all right, if that's what we got to do, that's what it takes. You know what I mean? If we have to lower our lifestyle a bit, cause there were times where I told my wife, I was like, hey, you ain't getting your nails done. Like we don't have the money. Like no nails, we're not going coffees. We're not eating out. Like it's tight. Like
this is what sacrifice looks like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not just sacrifice for me, it's sacrifice for the whole family. And one thing I always preach is that we sacrifice, and you guys both know this, right? Cause you're kids. And then what is
Addie?
I never remember her name. We sacrifice so hard for, every time I say this, I almost cry. But we sacrifice so hard for our families. But when we're doing that, our families are the ones that take the sacrifice because we're working hard for them to give them more, but they're getting the shit into the stick because they're not seeing this. It's like when my son is offering to give me his piggy bank to pay bills so I just don't have to go to work. It's like, does that not that breaks your heart?
Totally.
Or, it's like, hey man, like you like video games. It's like, I gotta make money to pay for video games. It's like, well, I don't have to play video games. Like, ugh, What do you say to that?
Yeah.
It's really hard.
I think there's a balance. Sorry, I just use the word balance. There is a balance there where it's like your kids got to see you work hard. You have to be the example that you want your kids to see, but you have to be present with them when you're there. And it is, dude, it's hard, Yeah. It just kind of gets put into the bucket of sacrifice of business ownership, you know, where it's like I said, people will say you're lucky or whatever the hell they'll say. And it's like, yeah, I slept on a couch for the last 3 days, away from my family. So
yeah, I think the biggest balance you can have as a business owner is, and I really struggle at it, is just putting your phone down for a day. And I'm not good at it. You know what I mean? My phone goes into do not disturb on Sundays, but I still got it, and I try not to respond to people, but it's just there in your hand and you see it. And like Charlie Kirk said it, and you don't have to like him. You can dislike him, but he believed that he could put his phone down for 24 hours because no one's that important that they can't get a hold of you. Put your phone down, be present. And it's hard. And it's like the things that run our business are the things that take away our most time when we are with our families to try to be balanced. Right. Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know.
Yeah. I wish I had there's no perfect answer or solution to how
I don't think there is.
It's
I think you have to juggle as best you can.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of the crux of the whole, your drive to be successful. You were saying it earlier. It's like, you're not complacent. You want to be content with where you're at. You don't want to feel complacent, but you also want to be present and be happy for the moments that you're in. And, it's always one of the hardest, parts of being an entrepreneur is it's literally your job to be the one looking forward and have eyes forward.
Yeah.
And everybody else is relying on you to lead. But at what point do you turn around and say, hey, I'm going to enjoy where I'm standing?
It's a dichotomy, right? It's 5 years ago, I killed to be where I'm at now, and I'm happy where I'm at, but I'm also like pissed off that I'm not further. Mm-hmm. It's like you can be happy and angry at the same time. You can be happy that I have 2 gyms, but I'm pissed off I don't have 3. Mm-hmm. I can be happy I have a 6-figure coaching business. I'm angry it's not multi-6.
Yeah, I think it's shifting the mindset into, instead of like the results into what was my effort, that time. Like the only thing that I get really mad about is if I'm like,
variables you can control.
Right. If you haven't executed on the things that were controllable, but business is a slow grind. And sometimes you go through periods where it's just like, I got to build up cash, and that cash takes time. And, I'm kind of limited by that aspect of things, but am I executing on the things that build the cash, the best? Am I developing the people underneath me? Are we building a good culture? It's like, you can kind of look back and assess and kind of take inventory on whether or not you've been doing the things that you need to be doing. And you can kind of find solace in that, because it's like, you can't always be growing 100%. And it's like, yeah, dude, obviously I wish that, we're $1 billion company, but we're not, so you have to kind of just, not put as much pressure on yourself to, feel like you have to be at a different place, because that can lead to unhappiness.
Yeah. And it's believing in the vision and believing. It's one thing to believe in the vision when like you're making a lot of money. It's another thing to believe in the vision when you have to stop taking a paycheck because you're doing something. Mm-hmm.
You got to give yourself those realistic expectations in these situations. Like, something I would say to anybody who's listening that's ever, considered being in business or whatnot is there's just different seasons of business, and there's different seasons of what the market is doing and what the market is telling you. I think for a lot of people during COVID, it was about like the last time where we had a ton of uncertainty. Right. And, you're nervous, you're afraid, you don't know what's going to happen. And, a lot of people that I know in the fitness industry that had their gyms closed, that couldn't do anything about it. They weren't very happy, but after there was this huge resurgence on health. Yep. And all of a sudden it was like a gold rush in the wellness industry. Everybody was signing up for different things to be healthier. Tons and tons of supplements were being bought. The wellness industry is just growing hand over hand, and it's all good. But, there's just different seasons of business and different seasons in the market. And so all I try to explain is like, when things are good, that just enjoy them, that they're good, but they're not going to stay good forever. And you got to know that. And it's up to you to make sure that you're prepared for whenever the seasons change.
Never too high, never too low.
Yeah. There's always highs and lows. And that was one thing thinking back when we opened, was like, when you start having all this money come in, it's easy to spend it. And it's like, man, I wish I would have saved a little more of that. That would have been nice. When I first started.
Sure. Invested that a little better, or whatever it may be. Or just
put it back on a rainy day. When I first went out on my own and I hired a girl to come work for me, I took, I think like 40% of the clients I gave her. I gave her clients, hey, I'm paying your rent at the studio we're at. I'm giving you clients. I'm going to keep 40% for myself. And I use that 40% like my income, when in reality, thinking back, if I would have kept that 40% for the year that she worked for me, I could have opened the first gym out of pocket, like without a problem, without a credit card. And it's like, shit, like, man, that's like money number one, right? It's just like learning the hard way.
Mm-hmm. Keeping your cash flow or saving it.
The first time that we ever opened, when we opened store 2 and we took our cash down to 0 and it felt like starting over, I was like, Wow. I mean, we worked for the last year and now
Straight.
it's literally all gone.
Yep.
Yeah, and that bank account, might have started with 3 numbers and now it's starting with 1 number.
100%.
Yeah. Dude, it's brutal, man.
Yeah, 100%.
And you just have to bet on yourself and know that it's going to get back there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we met you.
Yeah.
That's how it went.
No, you have to.
Full circle, man. Hey, we love you, man. We're so happy for you. We're so happy for your family. And best of luck, best wishes, all things for Body Shop's growth in the future. And we'll be there to support you every step of the way.
Yeah, man, the future is bright. We're hitting a really good spot right now. We have some really cool things that we're excited about.
Tell people where to follow you guys to keep up on those.
Yeah, so you can follow us at Body Shop Gym _KC. On Instagram, you can go to our website, bodyshop-kc.com. You can follow my personal Instagram, blankslate_fitness _91. I have a website too. It's blankslate_fitness.com. But they're really cool. I just want to do one thing that we are doing right now.
Please do.
The future's bright for Body Shop. The goal is to have 7 or 8 of these around Kansas City and kind of be omnipresent, not going anywhere. I feel like I can't go anywhere with an S2 shirt. I want to go somewhere where I can't see a Body Shop shirt. Like it's just everywhere. But I think we're really about to flip the industry kind of on its head for trainers. So normally box gyms, they take 40, 50, 60% of what the trainer gets. For those who don't know, like you sell $10,000, the gym takes $4,000, you're taxed. It's like, so afterwards you're maybe making $4,500 on that 10 grand. Well, I mean, that's good money, right? We're about to do a rent-based system where if you're a trainer and you want to come work for us, it's just a full-time and a part-time rent. So part-time is going to be under $2,000 sold. It's a $250 rent. Full-time is going to be over $2,000 sold. That's going to be a $500 rent, but there's no cap. Rent doesn't go up. So if you sell $5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, you're only paying me $500 to work there. It's like we want
train your client,
to train your clients. You come in, you train your clients. If you sell, $10,000 a month, you're making $9,500. You run your business, your time, your money. You collect your own payments. You collect your own contracts. You bring your own clients, and you make a lot more money. I want to make Body Shop a home for trainers where they can make a lot of money for their lives and change their lives. And in return, they want to stay forever. So I think the whole $500 rent-based system is just going to be a huge thing once, I think it'll start slow. It only takes 1 or 2. And then once we get them in, I think within 5 years, we'll have people fighting to want to work at our facility because it's like, it has great equipment, great culture, great community. And who doesn't want to keep almost all their money?
Right. This is always the problem with training that we always hear.
Yeah.
Is that, you have a lot of the margin of your sales get taken out by the gym, which makes sense.
It makes sense.
The overhead is,
the overhead of the gym is crazy.
Yeah. So right now what we're going to do is the gym is only, the person will have to have a membership and the gym is just going to make money on the membership. You know what I mean? And we're just going to focus on the membership side. And it sounds crazy because like we are taking a pay cut, but it's a numbers game, right? So you're able to get better trainers this way, more established trainers who want to do this for a long time. I want trainers who want to work at my gym for the next 20 years. I don't want trainers that want to be here for a year and a half and go somewhere else. So, buying a house is cool until your hot water heater goes out or your HVAC system goes out. So I'm basically giving you a house to rent that I'm doing the upkeep and I'm paying for this and I'm paying for that. And it's like you get a dirt cheap rent and you keep everything.
That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Do I do this month to month? Do I do this as a lease? Do I do this as like an annual dues?
Yeah. So we're going to set it up in the system as a membership. So it'll be drafted the first of the month. We're going to put a bank account on file. If you're under the full-time mark, you're going to report sales to us monthly. You know what I mean? It's going to be a 60-day average. So it's like, let's say you hit $2,001 one month, you don't automatically go up to the full-time rent. It's got to be a 60-day average. But once you're at that full-time rent, you just rock and roll. It'll just be auto drafted because I don't want to worry about money. I don't want you to worry about paying me. I just want it to be drafted automatic. You focus on your clients. We're not doing NDAs, or not NDA. What's the other word I'm looking for? Where you can only work there.
Oh, non-competes.
Non-competes.
Yeah. We're not doing non-competes. I think non-competes are kind of bullshit. I think
in the training world, they're totally bullshit.
They are. A non-compete tells me that I can treat you how I want and I have you locked in and you can go nowhere.
Right.
If you don't want to be at my gym, dude, I don't want you there. Right. Like, cause you're going to become a cancer. So if you want to leave us to go somewhere else, I mean, we're pretty dope. If you think the grass is greener, go test it. And then if it's not, sure, come back as long as you were a good functioning member of the gym, right? But yeah, it's just going to roll month to month. I think we'll do like maybe a 60-day notice if you want to leave. But it's going to be huge. Like, just come train your clients, make all your money. You know, we're going to do referral systems. So if a trainer refers another trainer and they switch over, you're going to get a free month. You know, it's like, I have clients. I do that for my clients. You know, you refer a client to me, they sign up. Here's $50. I have one client. I swear to God, I paid him $600 this year.
Nice.
You know, so if you're a trainer and you do that, you're like 6 months free rent. I just saved you $3,000. You know, that you can keep in your pocket more. So I'm excited about it, man. I think it's going to start slow, but once we get a good amount of trainers, you know, the dream is, you know, we have a third location soon. It's going to be more trainers. And then maybe, who knows, we'll have so many trainers where I literally just purchase a studio, open a studio for the people who don't want to be in a big box, or not a big box gym, but like a bigger gym, like a body shop, and they want to be more in a quiet area, doing something like that. Yeah, I think it'd be awesome. I just want to be the gym that I wish I had when I was a full-time in-person trainer, and give them an opportunity to build their brand and build their pocket at the same time.
Very cool, man.
I love that, man.
Excited to hear the feedback on how it goes.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys are listening, we got 2 locations. So if you want to talk, you know, follow us, send us a DM, you know, apply to be part of the team, send me a DM, you know, I'd love to talk.
If you guys want to know more about Caleb, his episodes are 8 and 67 along with this one. I really, really highly recommend the 8th episode because humble beginnings for Caleb, and again, like, that story is just so inspiring to me.
Gives some context to this conversation too.
Totally does, and you know, everything there came from the heart as it did today. So give those a listen as well.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me, man. I always love being on here. So I'm going to be around as long as you guys don't kick me out. So
we love you, buddy.
We love you guys. Yeah.
Thank
Appreciate you, man. We'll talk soon.
Appreciate you guys.